Welcome to Bastard Quest. I am your game bastard, Kyle.
I am Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
Today we are playing excellent princess role-playing.
Okay.
This is from Polymorph, or rather it's powered by Polymorph, which is the rule set, and it's a very, very simple rule set. This is a game by Adriel Wilson and Chris O'Neill.
I wish you listeners could see the book.
It is very, very compact tome.
Pamphlet.
So this is a game about playing excellent princesses in a TV cartoon world called Awesome World. You were just regular kids when, bam, you find yourself in Awesome World. You've earned a sword. You've won a crown. You have a responsibility to help keep Awesome World awesome and safe. Are you princess enough?
You're wanted for murder.
Sounds like Chronicles of Narnia.
So you all play princesses of any gender in Awesome World, protecting it against various enemies. And the assumption is that this is a Saturday morning cartoon. And you're all good. You're all going to be... Each character is good at one thing. So, for example, one of the princesses might be Laser Princess, right? She is her realm of expertise is science fiction movies. She knows everything about them. Then there's Hair Metal Princess. Her realm is everything grunge, speedy, and wild. Or Library Book Princess. And her realm is local libraries in the Dewey Decimal System.
Okay.
So real varied field of expertise. You guys are going to make your own princesses. It doesn't take very long. And the rule is very simple. Once you pick your princess, you will have one die that you roll. And that will determine all your success and failure. Occasionally, you'll roll with advantage or disadvantage. If you roll with advantage, similar to 5th edition, you pick the highest. If you roll disadvantage, both dice have to roll successfully for you to succeed.
Wow.
And those are the mechanics.
Okay. So there are 4 spaces on this character sheet.
Yes.
And at the top of mine, it says The Excellence. Is that like a family?
Well, that's the name of the game, The Excellence, an excellent princess role-playing game.
Yeah, please try to keep up, please.
I didn't realize that was the shorthand.
So you have to choose your princess role, and you answer the question, how do you save the day? So, for example, you could save it... There's 4 basic choices. Magic, brains, charm, or toughness. So, Todd, how does your princess save the day? I guess you could choose sort of the same one, but I recommend you all choose a different one.
I choose toughness.
So you usually punch the monster and always defend the weak. You sound like the tough one. You get a D10 and write the tough one under your roll. Corey, how do you save the day?
Via magic.
You sound like the magical one.
Oh, really?
Grab yourself a D4 and write magical one under roll and D4 under roll. So, Austin, that leaves you brains or charm.
I think I'm going to go with Charm.
That means you get charming under roll, R-O-L-E, and D8 under R-O-L-L, roll.
Okay.
So, Corey, you are the magical one.
So I've been told.
When you're in this princess role, you should focus on using your powers. Magical princesses are at their best when they're playing to their strength and using their crowns and their pets, which we'll get to shortly.
Okay.
Austin, you're the charming one. You're good at making shoes and heart rolls. You're also the best at sword rolls.
Oh, wow.
Todd, you're the tough one. You have great endurance. You're the best at heart rolls, though you're still pretty good at sword rolls. Todd, you are the tough one. As said before, you have great endurance. You're the best at heart rolls, and you're still pretty good at sword rolls. Heart and sword, those are specific attributes that your characters have. You all have crown, heart, sword, shoes, books, and beast. So, for example, Corey's the magic one, which means he's he's best at using his beast and crown. So, for example, he has a D4. So to be successful on a crown roll, you need to roll a 4, 6, 8, or a 10. Corey's a 25% chance of rolling a 4. On Beast, you have to roll a 1. Corey's a 25% chance of rolling 1, whereas Todd with a D10 does not have that for Beast. And your crown, heart, sword, shoes, books, and Beast will all be different things. Of course, sword is fighting, shoes is physical activities, books is intelligence, a Beast is your animal friend, heart is your compassion and understanding, and crown is like your specific magic.
So shoes is a skill?
Yeah, that's your running, jumping, climbing,
Gotcha.
shoes.
Okay.
So for your crown, each of you is the guardian and ruler of a princessly realm. And that's any sort of thing that exists in Awesome World. And you each have your own realm, so you get to choose what that is. And your crown is an actual crown. It might be or I should say, it's an actual physical object. It might be some sort of crown, or it could be some other identifier of your princessly power that you wear. Beast is, it's going to be some sort of magical animal friend. A book, you could have a physical book, or it could just be your knowledge. Shoes, you'd have to have some kind of shoes, even if it's bare feet. A sword is a weapon of some kind, or fists, or it could be a literal sword. And heart is an internal organ. No, that's not true. I've made that up. So let's talk about your realm. Your realm has to be something specific. So, like, you couldn't be the princess of music, but you could be the princess of acid jazz or the princess of sad country songs. Right? So, like, it wouldn't be the princess of food. It'd be the princess of Philly cheesesteaks. Who has an idea for their princess's realm?
Okay, I got my realm.
Okay.
My princess's realm is local independent wrestling.
Got it.
Super cool.
Excellent. Good. Do you know what your crown is going to be?
It's a belt.
Of course. Corey, Austin, Todd's winning right now.
Since my princess is the charming one, I think my realm should be the realm of radio DJs.
Oh,
Okay.
I like it.
What is your crown?
Like Shock Jock morning show hosts.
Yeah.
My crown is a set of golden headphones.
Oh, that makes sense. So local area wrestling, radio DJs. Corey?
my realm is being mad about Star Wars.
And we have a new winner.
What on God's earth is your crown?
My crown is a Mandalorian helmet, but the original Mandalorian helmets from the expanded universe, not this bullshit they're trying to push on us now with fucking Mando.
Oh, a EU helmet. Okay, yeah, that's the best. So, next up is heart. Now, this is going to be a single word to describe your attitude, exuberance, caring, and love. You can pick the word, or you can roll it randomly on with the D100.
I think I'm going to roll randomly for mine.
Okay. Roll percentiles.
Okay. 21.
Curious.
Cool.
Todd, did you pick a word, or are you going to roll?
I'm going to pick a word. Slam.
Yeah.
Corey, what about you?
Traumatized. Because of what they did to me. What Disney has done.
Appropriate. All right, well, that was fast. Now your sword. This is the weapon or object that you use to defend Awesome World. It's sometimes a sword, because swords are cool, but it could be anything, like a cooking whisk, a pirate cannon, a chainsaw, knitting needles, etc. Todd's is obviously a folded metal chair.
Absolutely, yes. It is chair.
My character has a light whip. Yeah.
I think you mean a cortosis whip?
Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. Austin?
Mine's a microphone.
Appropriate.
Like on a cord. I swing it around like a mace.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Now are your shoes. Princesses have awesome shoes. You roll shoes whenever you run, jump, climb, swim, etc. Now, even if you are barefooted, you still write barefoot as your shoes. So you can pick a pair of shoes, you could roll a D8, or you can create some. Like the ones from the book are barefoot, boots, dancing, flats, heels, sneakers, slippers, or trainers. So if you want to roll for your shoes, just roll a D8.
I've got a pair of fluffy slippers.
Makes sense.
I've got the wrestling boots that lace all the way up to like the knee.
Yeah.
My shoes stink.
They definitely do. Stinky shoes. Your book. When you use your smarts to do something awesome, you roll your books. Now, this could be a specific book that your princess is reading at the time, or it could be something more general. But, a title of a book is probably the best bet, or a couple short titles.
Okay, my book is Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire.
It's a great book.
Canon in my mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Austin?
Mine is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
That's a classic.
My book is Slobber Knocker, My Life in Wrestling by Jim Ross.
Nice. And finally, your Beast Friend. Beast Friend is a unique animal or monster that is 87% cooler than the ones we see in our world. This is your animal companion. It can be pretty much anything. So, for example, the Hair Metal Princess has Ampy, the flying amplifier.
Okay.
And the Maple Syrup Princess
is that
has...
a transformer?
I think so. The Maple Syrup Princess has Bucky, the sentient bucket. So, Open field.
I have a snake.
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a rancor.
Okay, sure, but what's his name? And what's the snake's name?
Jake.
Of course.
The rancor's name is Jaina, after Jaina Solo, the true daughter of Leia and Han.
I hate you so much. So much. I hate more that so far you haven't said any reference that I didn't get. Austin?
All right, my beast is Snuffles the saber-toothed tiger.
Oh.
All right.
But it's not a real saber-toothed tiger. It's one of those big furry mascot costumes. He's the mascot for the radio station.
Yeah, there's an intern in there.
WSBR.
So your beast friend is a guy in a suit. Underpaid.
Yeah.
Saber FM.
Yeah, just a guy,
Roar!
just a guy in an animal costume and a little princess running around.
You're listening to the hardcore sounds of Saber FM. Now here's Imagine Dragons.
Each princess has a natural inclination to be more in tune with certain activities, and these are areas that your princess will focus on. So if you look on your attributes, there's stars next to them, and depending on their princess type, you'll fill in the stars. So Corey, you're the magical one, so you fill in the crown, the pet, and the book. This reminds you of stuff you're super great at, and that's all it does.
Okay.
Austin, you fill in shoes and sword.
Okay.
Todd, you fill in sword and heart. Oh, so I do want a one rule thing. You can always, of course, roll to get your beast friend to do something. But if you're making another roll and you roll a 1, if it's appropriate to your beast, they can do the thing for you, even though a 1 would normally be a failure. When you roll success, you get to narrate how you succeed. When you fail, I, the GM, do. The other major mechanic are called lessons. When you fail a roll, you get a lesson token. And there's things you can do with those. So instead of making a roll for an action, you can spend one of the lesson tokens and just resolve whatever issues there. You could also do a montage or a flashback.
Oh, this is going to be my game.
Yeah. Everyone must agree to use your lesson tokens this way. Also, once per episode, all of you can choose to forego a roll and instead gather together to perform a musical number.
Okay.
You each have to describe how you're contributing to the musical number and how you're being excellent. And it can teach a lesson, change a heart, or do something magical.
Okay.
All right, so obviously I'm announcing the song. Todd's walking out to it, and Corey is the one playing it angrily.
So that's it. Your princesses, I think, are mostly done, right? So all you got to do is come up with the name of your princess. Does anybody have a name they know they're going to name their character?
Yes.
Todd?
My princess's name is Princess Lawler, brother.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, Jerry Lawler sounds nothing like that.
Not at all. But it's appropriate.
He has such a nondescript voice. There's no,
Yeah, how would you do a Jerry Lawler impression? I'm doing one right now.
Exactly.
That's what Jerry Lawler sounds like.
My princess's name is Zizor.
Get out of my house. Right now, there's a lot of people going, who?
I am, feel free to explain.
I'd really rather not.
Was that Shadows of the Empire?
I don't fucking care.
Zeiser's the only character I remember from that.
Man, I read some of those expanded universe books when they were coming out just because I was desperate for Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
It did not satiate my needs whatsoever.
No.
They're terrible.
I think
Zizor. Stupid.
I thought the Timothy Zahn ones were the best, and I really only liked the first two. I do remember the Zizor books sucking, though.
Zizor.
So if you wrote those and you're listening to our podcast, I hate them.
Yes.
Well, hey there, this is Princess Nixie Blue Eyes coming at you from WSBR.
All right.
The Saber.
We go hard about music and then play teeny bops. The hardest rock we play is Filter. Who wants to hear Hey Man, Nice Shot again?
I don't. Good princesses, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
You guys are on Awesome World, the awesomest, coolest place in the multiverse. You're having a picnic at the base of Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Yeah.
Tell me about your picnic. Tell me about the food you brought to the picnic.
Zizor brought blue milk. Not that green crap that came out of the monster on Octo.
Oh, sure, no.
I brought Slim Jims.
Nice.
And Nixie brought chips. Nixie, by the way, always refers to herself in the third person.
Fortunately, the woodland animals from the nearby forest also brought food. Fruits and wild vegetables, roasted carcass of mammoth.
Yum.
Yeah.
Well.
I mean, they're savage little woodland creatures.
Yeah.
Nobody pay attention to some of the animals vanishing into the mouth of Snuffles over there.
So Big Rock Candy Mountain is the most magical mountain in Awesome World. And it's a bright sunny day, a cool breeze, soft white clouds in the sky, but then it suddenly grows dark as a giant zeppelin blots out the sun. You know this zeppelin. This is Dr. Robot Gorilla's zeppelin.
Oh, no.
And an energy beam shoots down from the zeppelin to scour the top of Rock Candy Mountain. There's a massive explosion of magma, and this beam is slowly ripping apart the mountain and stealing its energy into a giant capacitor on the underside of the zeppelin. Then, to combat all the furry creatures gathered on the plains below, Dr. Robot Gorilla's minions begin descending on parachutes.
Jesus.
They're xenomorphs.
Oh, my God. Where's Cham when you need him?
Thousands of xenomorphs are just descending upon the plane from the
God.
zeppelin. What do you do?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but Snuffles, the Sabretooth mascot for WSBR, his mouth is actually a portal to the netherworld,
All right, yeah, I didn't see that coming.
and he can begin swallowing up some of the xenomorphs.
Okay, so what exactly of your princess attributes would describe your mouth to nothingness? Your great maw into the void.
Oh, well, that just falls under Beast, doesn't it?
Okay, so yeah, you can see if your beast can do that. So you could just, what's your, do you have a D6?
I've got a D8.
So for that to happen, you'd need to roll a 1 on the D8.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 5.
Okay, so Snuffles catches a few xenomorphs. They disappear into the great emptiness at the heart of the universe. But then one of them is a face hugger and latches onto him. And
Oh, no.
you can see him thrashing wildly. So Snuffles is in trouble now. What
Okay.
are the rest of you doing?
Luckily, I brought my replica pulse rifle. It doesn't work, but maybe I could magic it to make it real.
Okay, so what are you rolling?
I guess crown or book?
Yeah, I'd say you can use the magic of your crown to bring that into existence here.
Okay. What do I roll?
You're always going to roll a d4.
Okay.
So on your sheet, it'll show you the numbers that a crown hits on.
Okay. It's 4, 6, 8, or 10, so I can only get one possible result here.
And remember, if you roll a 1, your beast can always intervene as well on any roll.
Okay. Rolled a 2.
Dr. Robot Gorilla's magic energy beam is overwhelming your ability to bring in new things to this reality.
Yeah.
Rock Candy Mountain is very important to the internal magical superstructure of Awesome World.
I'm used to my dreams being shattered.
Very true. Todd?
Oh, let me tell you what Princess Lawyer's gonna do, brother.
Lawyer?
Lawyer? Yeah, that came out. Let me tell you what Princess Lawler's gonna do, brother. I'm gonna sue. I got a team of attorneys.
The name for my chair is litigation.
Dr. Gorilla, you want to send xenomorphs, more like xenodorks. You bring them into our hell on the cell here in Awesome Land, and I'm going to take them out one by one with a chair, brother.
Now remember, you guys you learn a lesson for each failure.
Okay.
So you guys should have 2 lesson points now.
Okay.
All right, Todd, and you roll a d10,
Yes, a D10.
and you're using swords, it sounds like?
Yes, chair.
Makes sense.
That is a 7.
And what did you need to roll for swords?
Either 4, 5, 6, or 7, it looks like.
All right, so you can narrate what this rampage looks like.
Oh, Lord.
So Princess Lawler produces her metal folding chair, and she wades into the xenomorphs, swinging it willy-nilly, connecting with every hit. At one point, she climbs up a tree and pretends it's the top rope and comes down and takes out 3 of them with one chair, and then she finds a folding table and sets it up and knocks a bunch of the xenomorphs down into the table. As they're coming out of Dr. Gorilla's Zeppelin, she's catching them midair and just knocking them through the table left and right.
Oh, I did forget a rule that when you're fighting minions, you have advantage.
Oh.
So That was really, I think, Austin and Corey's fault for failing.
Yeah.
So the xenomorphs are being batted. The furry woodland creatures are running around trying to combat them, but these aren't Ewoks. Right, Corey? They're not capable fighters.
They're definitely not Princess Kanisa of the Bright Tree clan because she's not canon anymore, apparently.
That's the first one I have not gotten. And I'm so very glad. But then you see Dr. Robot Gorilla's lieutenants descending on zip lines. There's zombie giraffe, flying tiger, and the T-1000.
Oh, hello.
So flying tiger comes sweeping in. He just has a tiger with wings.
Sure.
And zombie giraffe is, well, a zombie giraffe. And the T-1000 is the T-1000.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, he's just driving a cop car off the side of the Zeppelin. Comes careening down, crashes into a circus tent that was inexplicably set up nearby by the woodland creatures, explodes, walks out of the explosion. Now you must deal with this new threat of Dr. Robot Gorilla's lieutenants.
Okay, Zizor is going to approach Robert Patrick
Okay.
and attempt to make him flee the battle, actually.
Oh.
And she's doing this by asking way too many questions about the production of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And asking him questions about some of the spin-off novels as well.
Oh. All right, and you're using...
So I guess it'd be books.
Yeah, books.
Okay. 2 and a 3 is what I'm going for here.
Yeah, because you have at home the big coffee table set book for Terminator 2.
Yeah, it's the Art of by ILM. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, the ILM questions are pissing him off, dude. Hold on. Got a 2.
The T-1000 gets the Robert Patrick look of disgust.
So just his face.
Just his face. And he just turns around and walks back into the fire and lets himself melt.
Wait, when you were on X-Files, how was Gillian Anderson nice?
Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, now let me tell you what Princess Lawyer's... God damn it, I can't stop now.
Princess Lawyer.
Yep. Let me tell you what Princess Lawler's gonna do to that zombie giraffe. Dr. Gorilla, you thought you were sending a zombie giraffe into awesome land, when in reality you were sending it into my ring of destruction, brother.
And because this is a wrestling monologue, it goes on for another 15
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, absolutely.
You know.
So what Princess Lawler is going to do is use her heart, which her heart word is slam, and she is going to pile drive the zombie giraffe.
All right.
Rolling my D10, and that's a 5. Yes, heart is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, so hit it with a 5.
The zombie giraffe comes charging across the now desolate and ruined plain at the foot of Big Rock Candy Mountain going... That's the sound zombie giraffes make.
Yeah.
Lunges at Lawler, and Todd, you can take it from there.
As the giraffe is lunging, Princess Lawler lunges as well and grabs the giraffe around the neck, places the giraffe's head between its knees, stands its body straight up, and launches itself straight down, boom, into the ground. And the giraffe falls over, much like Andy Kaufman in Memphis in 1983.
You know, I never expected a giraffe getting a pile driver to make an appearance on the show.
You never know what's going to happen on an episode of Bastard Quest, Corey.
We need to make bingo sheets for the Patreon.
Did you have zombie giraffe pile drive on your Bastard Quest bingo? Well, the flying tiger swoops down on the already imperiled Snuffles, the intern in a saber-toothed tiger costume.
But Nixie Blue Eyes leaps to his aid and starts swinging her microphone around as a magic kind of flail, and it glows like magma hot. And she's going to try to swing the mic around on its cord and slice off the wings from the tiger.
Alrighty. So swords.
Yeah. And that's 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's a 5.
Well, what's that look like, Austin?
Yeah, all right, coming at you from WSBR, we're going to play Which Tiger Hits the Ground First? Looks like it's you, Flying Tiger. And she slices his wings off midair and watches him kind of skid past both of them into the dirt. where he gets kind of hoovered up by the gaping maw of Snuffles, the mascot.
As the tiger's wings come off, it's flying through the air. It goes, "Oh, my wings! I'm sentient and sapient! Ah!" And then it's dragged into the void, screaming.
Jesus Christ!
This really is an awesome magical world.
So the xenomorphs are scattered, the lieutenants are defeated, but the great Zeppelin's capacitors are still charging as more of Rock Candy Mountain is exploding into fragments being showered across the land. In the distance, you can hear villages of the Uch-Ich, the gentle natives, exploding in fire and plasma.
God. You're napalming cartoon characters. Okay. Got
This
it.
is the most fun I've had in a while. And standing on his tower on the top of the Zeppelin, you can just spy Dr. Robot Gorilla's silvery form.
I thought you were going to say Colonel Kilgore.
Well, who knows what brain is inside Dr. Robot Gorilla? What is your next move, princesses?
Guys, I think it could be song time.
Okay, let's song up. What does songs do again? We can accomplish something without rolling. Is that right?
Yeah, so you all come together to perform a musical number. Each person has to narrate how they add to the performance of the song, and you spend lesson points up to the number of players participating.
Okay.
And the more lesson points you spend, the more awesome the effect is.
Okay, I've got 2.
Yeah, we've got 2 pooled from Corey and I's prior failures.
Let's bring down that Zeppelin like that moon that fell on Chewie.
Corey, do you mean the moon of Serendipol?
Of course.
God damn it. You guys want to do a separate show?
I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not that I'm thinking of something else and I got it wrong. I'll never be so happy to be wrong.
Okay, do we want to spend both the lesson points here?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking. Nixie Blue Eyes has a crown that is a set of golden headphones, and I want to use them to magically amplify the sound of this song to sonically bring down the Zeppelin.
Okay.
And I guess Nixie is singing because she has the mic.
Nixie is introducing the song.
Oh, right. Of
Yeah.
course.
Hype man, basically.
Yeah.
She's Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Then she'll pass the mic over to, I'm assuming, Zizor.
No, Zizor, actually, I'm going to play my replica clue horn made famous by Figure and Dan and the Modal Nodes in their jizz band on Tatooine.
There is no God.
It's really the only good genre, jizz.
I so wish you were making that part up.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm passing the mic over to Princess Lawler,
Oh, yeah.
who can do an entrance to the music.
Oh, yeah.
Just the princess is just gone and then suddenly comes marching out of the forest. So, Todd, what's this look like when Lawler...
First off, a couple of explosions go off.
Sure.
And then stepping out of the smoke is Princess Lawler.
And coming at you from WSBR, looks like we've got a wrestler coming into the fray. Who is it? Oh my God, I think it's Princess Lawler.
Give me that mic.
Boodle-doo-doo-doo.
So Lawler grabs the mic and begins to rap. It goes a little something like this. Dr. Robot Gorilla, more like Magilla. You want to come to Awesome? You're really in the land of Lawler Law, son.
Jizz.
The Zeppelin explodes inexplicably.
Hope you enjoyed your jizz bath.
God damn it.
Burning chunks of wreckage are falling from the sky. The last of the xenomorphs are running and screeching in terror.
I would like to point out that we have a rancor in the ranks that we have not used yet.
It's nap time.
The tower that was on top of the Zeppelin comes crashing down to the trees, and Dr. Robot Gorilla's silvery simian form comes flying off of it. He lands in a crater created by the mass of his own body. He is, of course, a large robot gorilla in a scientist's white coat. He roars, pounds his chest. Ah, foiled again by the princesses. This time I'll have all of your heads.
All right, Curious George, the morning's almost over. It's time for you to pack it up and give us back our Rock Candy Mountain.
Dr. Robot Gorilla charges across the ground, grabs up Princess Blue Eyes, and tries to rip her in half.
Okay.
Hey.
To combat this, I'll read from my How to Win Friends and Influence People
Okay.
and negotiate. So that's got to be either a 2 or a 3. Oh, it's an 8.
Princess Nixie Blue Eyes explodes in gore as Dr. Robot Gorilla rips her in half.
Jesus.
Don't worry, the magic of Awesome World will bring her back in a matter of weeks. She can't truly be killed so long as her body is not killed on her home plane of existence.
That doesn't make any sense. That's like Luke being able to force project across the galaxy to fight Kylo.
And Dr. Robot Gorilla looks at Zysor and says, "The Last Jedi is my favorite movie.
It doesn't make any sense. It's poorly written.
I think it's a pinnacle of the art. I consider the original series never to have even happened."
You son of a bitch.
So how does Zysor defeat this powerful mental attack?
Well, she's going to try to repel him with her stink shoes
Oh,
first. So my target is 3, 4, 5 with the stink shoes. Rolling me D4. I got a 2. I wish my mom hadn't watched these 3 years ago.
he takes out a copy of The Courtship of Princess Leia and rips it in half in front of you.
You son of a bitch.
And Zysor is incapacitated. He has to go make a Reddit post about it.
Zysor will be occupied with theforce.net for the next 30 minutes.
I'm going to go send messages to Ryan Johnson even though he blocked me 5 years ago.
Todd, it's all down to Lawler.
So Lawler pulls the strap of his wrestling unitard off.
Sure.
He goes behind a tree and comes back with a brown sack. And he shakes the brown sack, and a python falls out of the sack. And he points at Dr. Robot and says, "Get him, Jake."
Now remember, you guys have 2 lessons left, lesson points, and you can use them to automatically succeed. And if you fail, then Adventure World is doomed, and Dr. Robot Gorilla will reign supreme for all time.
Oh.
Oh, do you guys care if I use a lesson point?
Please.
Use the lesson points.
All right, I'm going to use a lesson point.
All right, so that means you automatically get what you want. What does Jake the Snake do?
He slithers toward
Sure.
Menacingly.
toward Dr. Robot Gorilla. He's actually moving so slowly that Dr. Robot Gorilla doesn't see him coming, but he slowly wraps himself around Dr. Robot Gorilla and coils around his neck and squeezes until his head pops off.
Jesus.
And he's able to do this because Princess Lawler is ranting, doing a prolonged wrestling monologue toward Dr. Gorilla about how he's going to face hell in the cell and whatnot. And Jake just squeezes all the life out of the robot and his head pops off in a shower of sparks.
The head pops off, and you can see that piloting this giant robot gorilla creature is none other than James Cameron.
Oh, no.
Wearing a menacing hat.
Okay.
So I would have finally had all the power I needed from Giant Rock Candy Mountain if it wasn't for you princesses. He shakes his fist at you, presses a button, and then an ejection seat bursts him out of the robot's body, and he flies off into space towards his spaceship.
Zysor screams, "In the name of Kevin J. Anderson, stop, you fiend!" And she mounts Jaina the Rancor and tries to pluck him out of the air using her increased height to stop James Cameron's escape.
Okay.
And can I use a lesson point to make this automatically happen?
Well, you can.
Okay. I do that.
What's it look like when the Rancor captures James Cameron?
Again, bingo card.
Yeah.
Zysor mounts Jaina, kind of gives it a little kick in the ribs with her stink shoes, like spurring the Rancor on.
Sure.
The Rancor gathers itself and springs into the air and bites him off at the waist.
James Cameron's severed torso is falling to the ground, and he's screaming, "I have so many more avatars to make!"
Oh no, I'm sorry. I love Avatar. They're so good.
Of course, Zysor loves Avatar.
Ah.
The 5th one was going to take place on Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Actually, me and my friends could write the new scripts using AI.
And quiet settles over the plains before Big Rock Candy Mountain. James Cameron and his guys as Dr. Robot Gorilla is defeated, and peace is once again welcome on Awesome World.
So, Corey, who's going to direct the rest of the avatars now?
Zack Snyder, of course.
J.J. Abrams.
They hired Michael Bay. Love to see.
He couldn't make him worse.
I would love to see a Michael Bay Avatar movie.
I'm
I would
down.
love to see a Michael Bay Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. So that was the excellent princess role playing.
Yeah.
By the way, you can next catch Princess Lawler at the Robert Cherry Civic Center this Saturday night, featuring Dutch Mantel and superstar Bill Dundee, and also Princess Rock and Roll Express.
A disembodied voice comes from the golden headphones on the ground. It says, sponsored by WSBR.
You can next catch me harassing Tamura Morrison at StarCon.
Zizor already has a restraining order filed against him by Rosario Dawson.
I'm pretty sure anybody that's been in a Star War has a restraining order filed against Princess Zysor.
Warwick Davis beat me up at a Hardee's.
I mean, I would pay money to watch Warwick Davis shove some Star Trek nerd into a trash can.
Well, they made Willow woke. My childhood. R.I.P.
Thanks to all of our Patreon members
Yes.
for being patrons of Bastard Quest. None of you were featured.
For a reason, because we didn't. That would have been cruel. Like,
Yeah, right.
We've disemboweled and nuclear obliterated many of you, but like this
Yeah.
would have been too much.
Yeah, well, I thought about putting somebody in Dr. Robot Gorilla, but
Yeah.
I mean, James Cameron couldn't
Yeah.
pass that.
He could be a patron. Herc Orsman could be an alias.
Herc Orsman is actually James Cameron.
Yeah. By the way, I did read somewhere that Jizz is no longer canon in
Oh, is it
Star
not?
Wars.
Oh,
And
thank God.
It was like a tweet from an angry nerd. It was like mad because the style of music Jizz, which was canon for a long time,
Yes.
is
A long time.
no longer canon.
Why would you ever get mad over that being changed?
They get mad over anything. It's beautiful. Like, I didn't like the prequels, but did I create a Twitter account for it? No.
No. It's okay not to like things, and it's okay to like things.
Yeah.
Zizor's ringtone is Yub Nub.
All these were pretty good characters.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Had a good time. And once again, yes, thank you to our patrons. We like y'all a whole bunch and appreciate you being there and listening to this nonsense.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thanks to our regular listeners for your support and your reviews.
Yeah, I've seen more reviews posted. We love it. It's great. We really appreciate it. That helps the podcast reach new people to corrupt.
Yep, and follow us on the Twitters and all that stuff. We put polls up. We did not too long ago. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. We already played that, obviously, but we do have Deadlands coming up fairly soon.
Yeah, Deadlands and Delta Green
Yeah,
are next in line. That's the plan.
yeah. And Colin Todd just returned from Gen Con with a sizable haul of new games, including the Cobra version of G.I. Joe.
The
which
Cobra
we're-
Codex.
We're definitely fucking playing.
Yeah, I actually got the Excellence at Gen Con. That's
Yep.
where this game came from. And we got a bunch of stuff at Gen Con.
And I got some, and one in particular is going to be a surprise. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, and we just got we did the playtest for the Marvel Multiverse game last year, and it had some issues, but apparently the final version is supposedly pretty good from what I'm hearing.
It sounds like a lot of people agreed with some of the issues we put forth.
Sure.
Yeah, I think, I've got to catch a flight this afternoon, but I think we're going to take the book and read it on the way.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. This time we'll create our own characters. Last time we used like Wolverine
yeah.
and Captain America and stuff. So
Yeah, the new ones will be so much worse. Well, thank you to Norse Foundry. We're a Norse Foundry partner. If you want to get some cool dice and dice assorted things, RPG assorted things on Norse Foundry, make sure you use coupon code
Cham.
that's CHAM. You get 10% off, I believe.
That is correct.
10% off.
Yeah, just for being a Bastard Quest listener.
Yeah, you can get shovels now there. They have shovels, but no fucking rakes. Never in Norse Foundry will you find a rake.
And thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, located at 100 Broadway Street at the riverfront in beautiful downtown Paducah.
Bourbon, small plates.
James Cameron.
Yeah, he replaced Stinky Pete as the bathroom attendant.
I mean, he's between movies. He's not doing anything.
The bathroom's now underwater.
Yeah.
Since he took over.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to descend to the Titanic if you gotta take a squirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, a group of wealthy people were drowned in the bathroom in their submersible last week.
Bye, James Cameron. Well, thank you for listening to Bastard Quest. I'm Kyle.
I'm Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.
The Excellence.